Hello, I'm Adrian Geary and I'm the founder of Landscape Co. And thanks to a little bit of inspiration from a friend of mine, Lulu, I've been encouraged to set up a YouTube channel to share some nuggets of wisdom when trying to get the best out of your garden. Sometimes there'll be some design tips, sometimes there'll be some plantsmanship tips as well. So anyway, welcome. And as I say, if ever you need any help or advice, please let me know. My name is Adrian Geary and I'm the founder of Landscape Co. I will start with some early summer, high spring jobs to be done. Those who know me well know that I have a bit of a pet hate at the moment, which is the quality of compost. And of course, a lot of people like to put plants into pots, trugs and planters all around the garden, think it makes their lives easier. And one of the things that is always disregarded is the fact that the quality, a plant is truly the product of where it lives and where it keeps its feet. So if the roots are in very poor soil or compost, then the plant will not look good, no matter how much money you spent at a garden centre. Also, the other problem is that people don't realise that compost, at best these days, will give you 6 weeks of feeding energy when you put a plant with it. And also the other problem with pots is that their roots are out of the ground. So when the sun hits here, if the plants that are in the ground are struggling, well, I say this with a bit of tongue-in-cheek, when it's dry, it's drought conditions, no rain. Well, that's not been 2024, has it? But if you find that we do go into a long dry spell, if plants are struggling in the ground, then you can rest assured with the heat that is hitting a pot, it's going to cause the evaporation even quicker. So you have to think about that with your watering regimes. It needs a lot longer, done at night, but also you need the right substrate in the soil that will retain the moisture. And I'm just going to do a little experiment now just to show you the difference of what's being sold to us these days. You are. Those who used to love Blue Peter, I'm doing one I prepared earlier. We've got 3 examples of soil, basically. This is what is being sold by everyone, which is basically described as peat-free coir compost. This is a richer compost for rose tree and shrubs, and this is good old-fashioned garden soil. So let's look at the coir. The reason why there's all of these additives being included in compost these days is purely because we have a problem with peat bogs. They're sensitive environments, and it's unquestionable that we need to preserve those. Once they've been dug out, it can take 1,000 years for the environment to recreate. The trouble is, like with everything in life, quote, sustainable, the manufacturers are cheating. When you actually look at this, you can see the difference in colour. So there's very little goodness in there. And when I shake, can you see? It's nearly all coir with a little bit of, well, they'll try and argue there's some nutrients in there. But that does not hold moisture. This is a slightly more substantial rose tree and shrub compost. But again, lots of coir, pine needles. They'll sell it to you as helping to condition the soil because it's got all of this to open up the texture. But they know that there's nothing really any good in there, because look, they've had to add all of these granules to provide nutrients. So again, this probably is only going to give you 3-4 weeks of energy, probably 6 to 8. And good old-fashioned soil, well, that's been there for millennium. And you can see there's a little bit of clay in this, so when you sort of scrunch it up a bit, it does form a mud pie to keep all the little people happy. And here's an example of what happens when compost gets spent. So a healthy plant where the compost has been boosted. Same plant, same position, but as you can see, one has had its compost boosted and is looking a lot more vigorous.